Of, oh gosh, let's condemn her for this, MoveOn.org. She was carrying a Republican Corp sign trying to get a picture with Rand Paul. When his goons tackled her to the ground, you saw the tape, and stomped her on the head. The man who assaulted Valley is Rand Paul Bourbon County campaign coordinator, Tim Profit. He told the Associated Press this, quote, "I'm sorry that it came to that, and I apologize if it appeared overly forceful. But I was concerned about Rand's safety." He was concerned about the candidate's safety. Did you get that, folks? I find that unbelievable. I almost can't speak right now. The country should be outraged at this. The country should be outraged at this. I find it absolutely amazing. And we could go back to the tape here. I find it absolutely amazing. Mr. Prophet, were you so concerned that you had to stomp on the head of a defenseless woman when she was pinned to the ground? That guy's nothing but a thug. And it takes two statements from the campaign, not Rand Paul himself. Mr. Paul, why don't you call a press conference within the next hour and say personally, you want to make it very clear to the people of Kentucky that you personally don't condone this? Because you see, there's this thing that you were, well, kind of involved with in college, you know, that deal where you wanted that woman in that fraternity to kind of be submissive. Remember that story? Slow to the punch again, huh, Mr. Tea Partier? Well, the cops aren't. Lexington, Kentucky police spokesperson Sherelle Roberts has announced that officers will deliver a summons to Prophet. Paul's campaign cut ties with Prophet late this afternoon. That's a news flash. They cut ties with him. The Tea Party candidates and their supporters have been acting like thugs from the start of this campaign season. The closer we get to Election Day, things are really getting out of control, aren't they? Well, let's go to the ledger. Last month, a Sharon Angle supporter punched a female Harry Reid supporter in the face. Bingo. And just 10 days later, well, here we have Joe Miller's goons handcuffing a reporter and detained him against his will for 25 minutes. See a pattern here, folks? 4 days later, a Tea Party candidate down in Texas was asked if a violent overthrow of the government should be on the table.
The option is on the table. I don't think that we should ever remove anything from the table as it relates to our liberties and our freedoms.
No Tea Party candidate has the character to put a stop to this crap. Tea Partiers think that, you see, they're the real Americans. And they treat members of the media and, of course, MoveOn.org like roadkill. We're kind of second-class citizens, I guess. Glenn Beck has been screaming about violence. Well, how do you feel now, big guy? Aren't you proud of this one? And he's been screaming about violence, saying, well, it's going to be coming from the left. Show me the tape. You don't have any. What do you think Beck would be saying if this was a Democrat who stomped on the head of a female member of the Tea Party? Or wait a minute, let's hold it. What if it was an Obama supporter who happened to be a minority who stomped on the head of a Tea Party person? What would they be saying across the street tonight? America, don't buy this crap, this both sides garbage anymore. It's not both sides. It's coming from the right wing. It's endorsed by the Republican Party, and the Tea Party is nonstop. They are Republicans at heart. And they're upset that we have a black president. They're upset that people won't back down. People in this country will not back down. They can't talk us down when it comes to, oh, this enthusiasm gap. And the polls are saying this, and the polls are saying that. I'm going to say this again. This is how they operate. And I challenge Senator Gregg to come on the Ed Show and repeat what you said on Dayside on MSNBC just the other day when you said that this health care bill is going to cost American taxpayers billions of dollars. Wrong. It's going to save $1 trillion over the next 20 years. But you see, that's how they put the boot on the neck of the taxpayers and the viewers in this country. They kind of do it with sound bites from Washington, and then they kind of let these supporters go out and really do it to the women who have the wrong T-shirt on or carry the wrong sign or say the wrong thing. Tell me what you think in our telephone survey tonight. The number to dial is 1-877-ED-MSNBC. My question tonight is, do you think Rand Paul himself, Rand Paul, should publicly denounce the violence of his supporters? Press 1 for yes, press 2 for no, and I'll bring you the results later on in the program. Now, the reason why we're asking that question tonight is because candidates are kind of like leaders. They can influence voters. They can influence people. Just like a candidate goes out and gives a speech and he talks about hope and change and strikes the passion of people to do the American thing and go vote. And then there's a record turnout and just all demographics. And then we set the table for change. That's one way. But then again, there's another way, too, is if someone were to stay silent after something bad really happens. Rand Paul, you hiding behind your campaign tonight, you're nothing but a damn coward. I don't think you have the guts to personally come out and say to the American people that you personally condemn it. You hide behind your spokespeople is what you do. And Ron Paul, congressman from Texas, that's your kid. Please don't tell me the apple doesn't fall very far from the tree. Congressman Paul, I think you ought to call your kid tonight and tell him he's running a rotten campaign. And it sure looks like this problem with women that he had years ago is resurfacing again in the form of his supporters. Congressman Paul, do you have the guts to call your kid and then tell the media that you did call Rand and told him to back off, or maybe tell him to have a press conference? You see, if I don't speak up now with a tremendous amount of fervor, if the media doesn't speak up with a tremendous amount of passion like this, hell, it's going to happen again and again and again. Now, what I wanted to do tonight, but, you know, we have our limitations, and maybe you can go to my website at wegoted.com and tell me what you think of this, but we really could have taken some video from the 1930s in Germany, and we could have matched it up with that video that we just played a few minutes ago, and then we could let you comment on it. But you can use your imagination about what that would look like. This is a very important election. Very important. Joining me now is Justin Rubin. He is the executive director of MoveOn.org. Just a couple of things I want to clarify with you, Justin.
Sure.
Was there an organized protest by MoveOn.org at this debate last night in Kentucky?
Yeah. Well, Lauren was part of a group that we call Republic Corp. That's our name for this alliance between these shadowy corporate front groups that are spending millions to buy the election in Kentucky and around the country, and the Republican candidates that they are supporting.
Okay.
And so she was out there actually she was there to give a satirical award to Rand Paul, the Employee of the Month award, thanking him for his service to the corporate interests that are spending on this election. That's what she was doing. Peaceful protest protected by our Constitution.
And this isn't the first time that you folks have done this, right?
No, we have volunteers around the country who've done over 100 of these Republic Corp mock protests and award ceremonies.
Anybody been beaten up before on one of these deals, or is this kind of a new thing last night?
Well, at other Move On events in the last year, we've had protesters punched. I think you are dead on that this is part of a pattern of acts of violence and intimidation by Tea Partiers and right-wingers, and it's being encouraged by Tea Party leaders like Glenn Beck and Sarah Palin, who are consistently using violent imagery, and by the candidates.
Has MoveOn.org done anything violent? Have you guys punched anybody or taken a nightstick to anybody? Have you done anything, or is it all peaceful?
You know, our 5 million members, the teachers and plumbers, and we, they pretty much go out there and hold signs peacefully and speak their mind. And this is absolutely un-American. All right. This is not what our democracy is about.
All right, Lauren Valley, she had a statement today, and I just want to read this before we go. They surrounded me. There was 5 of them. They mentioned to each other and got behind me. My partner Alex heard them say we are here to do crowd control. We might have to take someone out. Amazing.
Yeah, it really is unbelievable. And the worst thing is that these same corporations that she was there to draw attention to are actually funding the Tea Party groups that are helping to create the environment in which this kind of intimidation and violence is happening.
Justin Rubin, good to have you with us tonight. Thanks so much.
Thank you.